Okay, computer networking basic. So, what is networking? Networking, it's connected computers, servers in a network. Um, so, in an organization, let's say you have people that will be working on an environment or an organization. They use all the computers, they have servers, so they are all connected with cables and other channels or media, communication media, and then that is basically computer network. Now, all the computers, not only computers, all the devices, electronic devices, printers, any storage thing, everything, all the devices are connected, and this connected computer set or device sets are called together a network. Then next we have firewall. So firewall basically, whenever you have an organization, let's say you want this to be protected, so outsiders, they should not be coming into your network and access your computer. So for that, there normally firewall, it's a server. So whenever somebody comes from outside, it checks whether it's an authenticated user for this environment or not, and that is mainly the purpose of firewall server. So firewall is a software network that is installed on network server. It's called firewall server basically, and it checks the connections from for outsiders that comes to network from outside. Routers, these are basically used for connecting devices, and it's controls the flow of network. So for instance, some requests are coming from a network. I think we can see a picture. So in this picture we can see a router is that. So you have internet, and you have server, and requests are coming, and then it needs to be routed to a specific area. So that can be routed by router. Now about router, there are similar kind of devices like a router, switch, hub. So you can see here there are three devices: hub and a switch. The hub and switch purpose are same, but this is like less expensive for internal organizational use. Switch is used for secured establishing secured network. So all the computers, let's say, they are connected to a network. So this device is used. So this is kind of a docking station type device. You can say all the computers through this port are connected, and they come to a network. So this is the device to help computers to connect it together. Hub is less expensive, switch is more expensive. Data travels faster in switch compared to hub, so that is one important thing that makes the difference. And data is not sequenced, so it goes faster in switch, and more secure than hub. So in security matter, this is better. So about route, switch and hub, this deals with the own network, like in an organization. Within the organization, router is used. So switch is used, or hub is used, but router is used, like as you know that we use router for internet connection. Everybody has router at home. So basically, router, what it does, it's the function of it is to route the data to a different network. So it's coming from ISP. The data is signals are coming from ISP and going to your network, and then from your network to going to other network. So that is the purpose of router. So you have one network within the organization, entire organization, or home network. From there you are communicating to outsiders out of your network through router. So that is the main purpose of it. So next topic we have computer protocol. So it's a set of rules with that computer communicates. So the definition here is a set of rules or guidelines for implementing networking communication between computers. So through protocols, computer can connect to each other, and internet protocol or IP that is that represents basically an address. For example, you want to communicate with other computer, so you have your own IP and the other computer has its own IP. So with that communication, whenever the data is sent through media, so you can determine which address data will go. So based on your IP information, it will send the data to a specific computer, and it will when other computer receives it and it sends back to you, it has your IP address, so it sends back to your IP address, so you will receive the data that way. So there are different kind of protocol that is there. TCP/IP most common for data communication. Transmission control protocol. So data transmission control. It does the data transmission, means going data from one place to another place. So that controls it with the TCP/IP. So you provide the IP. Just I said a 32-bit IP for your address and your destination server address. So you can send back and forth data within these two computers. And then hypertext markup language protocol. So hypertext transfer protocol. So whenever you have a page, HTML page, so it communicates with HTTPS. Whenever you go to a web page, you put that HTTPS www. So it's basically the rules that is there is like you provide the language and the hypertext markup language, and it communicates, interprets and communicates with other computer using this protocol. So HTTPS, the full thing is hypertext transfer protocol. S stands for secure. SMTP is for this protocol is used for transferring files. A mail. So we have Outlook and on Exchange server. Whenever we or even for Gmail, this protocol is used. So with that protocol, you can send email from your source to destination. So that is SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol. Next we have another protocol that is domain name server. So it basically communicates, helps communicating. It also uses TCP IP protocol, but we discussed about the domain server. So you have domain, and within that domain you have set of you have a network. So this protocol is basically has all the information about domain to domain communication. So you have two domain communication. So it helps communicating within domains using protocol of IP, internet protocol. Now what is IP address? IP address is basically an address of 32-bit. So normally it looks like this, numeric values, but it converts into 32-bit. Now you understand what is 32-bit. It's 2-bit is like 01, 3-bit is 0, 1, 0, something like that. And so it's a combination of 0 and 1. 32 zeros or 1 makes a binary number, that is IP address, and it's basically used to communicate. It represents the address of a machine or a computer in a network. What is domain? We already discussed about that, but one more time, that you have an organization, and within an organization you want to connect all the computers in within a network, and for that you have a domain server which creates the domain. So it's a network that it creates using the domain server, and using Active Directory it can create users and computers, so everybody comes to that network with authentication. It creates login for any activity for users as well as computers to work within the network and do activities within the network. Fiber optic cable, this is used for communication. We discussed this term in SAN device. So it has the cable to communicate between SAN server and other servers. If we want to use SAN devices on a computer or on a server, for disk resources, we use fiber optics channel. So this cable basically is like light speed, so the data communicates using the light. So it's a glass thing, it's a fragile cable, and a very thin cable, and data is communicated using the light. So it has glass in it, so light passes through glass. You can do some more research on this topic on your own, and also you can do some studies on network cables, what type of cables are there, and the data transmission rate and all. This is a picture of a network of an organization, or just an example. So you have several PCs connected using switch, router. So router is used for internet communication. So within the organization, all the computers are connected using switch, and also it can be connected using hub. So as I said, it's faster, and then it's expensive compared to hub. So all the computers, you can see, they are connected with a switch, and it has router to connect it outside network. So router is used. So you can understand where switch is used or hub is used. Hub can be used within this. There is a ring. It's a ring topology. Topology means like how the computers are connected. So using the topology, you can study the term topology, computer network topology. So how the computers are basically connected. So this can be done using a hub, and then that can be communicated through switch to other network. On upcoming two slides, it's discussed about how information travel through internet. You can just go through it. I discussed in the class that it's all the data goes as a packet. It has header, it has and all this information, and then from one source to another source, the packets are nothing but all the zeros and ones, and that sends through a network and gets interpreted later on when it reaches to destination. So you can study the topic packet switching. It's just for your information and knowledge that you know about how the data transmitted from one source to another source using internet. So you can just see the slide. Next topic that I have is also same. So just go through it and check the point. It's just the picture that we already discussed about. You have your computer using ISP, you have routers, and then it's going to web server. So this is just the communication way. So that's all we have for lecture 2. Thank you all.